Hello, everyone. Ex-Wall Kill Bethelite here. And by Jehovah's Witnesses' own standards, by their definition of pagan, of satanic, Watchtower, Jehovah's Witnesses themselves are satanic. They are pagan. The founder, it all goes to the origins, right? Because all of us that were Jehovah's Witnesses know the reason why Jehovah's Witnesses say Christmas and all these other holidays are pagan is because they go all the way back to the origin. And if the origin had anything to do with anything non-Christian, anything pagan, their belief is that it remains pagan. It cannot be used for anything else. It can't be changed into Christian, for example, right? So Christmas, according to Jehovah's Witnesses, if there were pagan influences ever in the past, even if they change it and make it about Jesus, it's still pagan. Well, Jehovah's Witnesses founder Charles Taze Russell had this ideology that he could use a pyramid to foretell the future. That is divination. Using a pyramid and trying to use the markings on the pyramid and how wide it is and long it is and all this stuff to try to foretell the future, foretell the end of the world or whatever in the world he was trying to foretell, that's divination. If I take bones, throw them on the ground, and look at the bones and try to determine my future, that is what divination is. It doesn't matter if you're using bones, chicken bones. It don't matter if you're using pork chop bones. It don't matter if you're using stones or runes, as they would say, stones with little markings on it. Throw them on the ground and try to. It don't matter if you're using a pyramid to try to foretell the future, to essentially be a fortune teller. That is divination. Divination is the origin of Jehovah's Witnesses if their founder is Charles Taze Russell. So, according to Jehovah's Witness theology, they are satanic. You cannot start off pagan and then change things around, right? To where now you're just trying to predict the future and foretell the future by watching the news or whatever other means they try to use to predict when the end of the world is going to come. If you started off pagan, like Christmas, they started off pagan. They can't change it. It cannot be changed. If Watchtower started off pagan, it can't change. Jehovah's Witnesses are the biggest hypocrites on the planet, telling everybody else they're celebrating something pagan when they are members. Jehovah's Witnesses are members of something that started off pagan. That is pagan. Divination. The Bible flat out says that God detests divination. In the Bible, I think it's in the book of Deuteronomy, flat out. God detests divination. What did Jehovah's Witnesses start off doing? Charles Taze Russell using divination. What did Jehovah's Witnesses believe? Jesus came invisibly and picked the people doing what God detests, divination, as the only religion he's going to start using now. These people are hypocrites and stupid. But let's get to what we want to talk about. Let's talk about these elders, because I done already just showed you how, according to the Jehovah's Witness own view, their religion is pagan, meaning it's satanic. Well, who are the puppets? Who's Satan's puppets? Elders. Now, I was born and raised a Jehovah's Witness. My father was not a Jehovah's Witness, but my stepdad, basically by law, me and him virtually never talked, was never close. But by law, I guess I have to call him my stepdad. He was or is or was and then is again an elder. So I know all about it. I grew up in the household. All elders do. What a puppet is something someone else controls. Right? That puppet can't decide on its own what actions it's going to take. Someone else controls that puppet. Elders are Watchtower's puppets. Watchtower has a background in divination. That's satanic. Elders are Satan's puppets. Ask yourself this question. At meetings, the meetings that you used to attend growing up, or maybe some of you still attend, what did elders do during those meetings? For the most part, all elders do is take the magazine or book that they were told to study that night and ask questions. Brother so-and-so, that's a very fine comment. Next, we'll have sister so-and-so. Oh, mighty fine points you bring out there. Oh, let's have little sister such and such in the front. Very fine, very fine. That's all they do is ask questions. They get up on a stage with a pre-prepared book or magazine or something that they were supposed to get up there with, and they just ask questions. You could have meetings without elders. You could get a 12-year-old up on a stage and they could stand there with a book or a magazine and ask questions. And then the answer is right there in the paragraph. It's not even like you need someone to really decipher the answers. The answers are right there they're just going to recite back what was already in the paragraph. This is puppeteer. This is puppeteer work at its best. Elder, get up on stage. All the man's going to do is ask a question on a paragraph. It don't take somebody going to the school of theology to be able to do that. They get up on stage and ask a question. And then the person they ask the question then answers it using what's in the paragraph they just read. Both are puppets. Right? Elders are not people that have any kind of ability beyond anything. All they do at most meetings is sit there, somebody else reads a paragraph, then they look at the book and they ask whatever question was supposed to be asked. That's all these people do is ask questions in a paragraph. And that's your elder, right? That's your elders are essentially useless. I know this for a fact growing up in the household with an elder. Because what most elders that I've heard of, what they do is try to get around the concept that they are supposed to do a good job in the household. Basically do a good job raising their kids, do a good job providing and being a good husband and all those things, right? This is what an elder, one of the qualifications that an elder is supposed to have, right? So what Jehovah's Witness elders do to get around that, right? Because, I grew up in a household with an elder and know they're not very good at parenting or darn near anything else. But what they do is, if the product of their parenting does not turn out well, let's say that child is getting in trouble, that child is not doing well, right? Well, what the elder is going to want to do as soon as possible is just get that child out of the house, right? As soon as they turn 18, 19, whatever, they want them out of the house. Why? Because their parenting sucks and they want to be an elder. They want to be an elder and they suck as a person. The only way that they can do that is, the only way they can qualify technically as a Jehovah's Witness elder, is to say, I preside over my household in a fine way, and basically I just get rid of everybody. I kick out all the kids that aren't doing well, and the kid that makes me look good in the hall, that's the one I talk to, that's the one I kind of stick around, right? So it's just a crapshoot with most elders. Whichever one, they don't do that good of a job parenting. Whichever one of their kids just so happens to seem like they're doing well, they kind of hang around that kid to look good at the hall. Whatever kid or kids don't do well, they just don't talk to them anymore. And in the mind of a Jehovah's Witness, that kid just disappears, right? They're no longer a product of this person's rearing. Right? It's no longer a measuring stick of whether or not this parent did a good job, because, they just get them out of the house as soon as possible so that they can become elders. One problem with this is dishonesty, basically. They know the Bible is talking about looking at your family as an example of what you would do in the kingdom hall. Well, Jehovah's Witnesses get around that by trying to just get rid of their kids as soon as possible, or just shun them. If I don't talk to them, they just vanish and disappear, right? And I didn't do a good job. I didn't do a bad job as a parent because I don't talk to them anymore, right? So it's dishonest, and we're talking about Satan's puppets here. Elders, these puppets, not only do they only just ask questions at the meeting for the most part, but they can't counsel other families. They can't counsel other adults. We've got proof of that with all the pedophilia, that went on, because elders were told about it and they didn't know what to do. Why don't they know what to do? Why is it that you cannot go to an elder, or an elder is not the best person to go to for advice? They don't even know how to run their own households. All they do is get rid of whatever kid doesn't do well. They don't know how to solve problems that come up in life. All they do is pretend it doesn't exist. If I just don't talk to whatever kid or whatever family member is having problems, then the problem doesn't exist. So logically, it doesn't make sense for a person who is a Jehovah's Witness to go to an elder when they have a problem and talk to them and expect this elder to be able to give them some kind of advice or some kind of a solution, because by practice, what most elders do is just shun whatever family member. is having an issue, is having a problem, right? Bible, technically, these people are supposed to be able to counsel their own families first. And because they do such a good job in their family, then they're able to counsel other people in the congregation. What Jehovah's Witnesses do is just basically just all the people that didn't turn out well as a result of their parenting, their counseling, they just get rid of them. They use shunning. We'll just shun them. I just won't talk to them, right? So that when they ask me, can I be an elder? I'll say, yeah, I didn't do a great job as a parent, but I just don't talk to them anymore, so I guess it doesn't matter now, right? Elders cannot counsel people. They can't give you advice if they can't even guide and direct their own family, their own relatives. They hide from those problems. Most of us know that that is a fact. We got parents that are elders and this and that, and they don't want to talk to you, right? It's the easiest way to avoid the obvious blaring fact that they have no solutions for any of the issues or problems in life, and they can't help you solve anything. So they just decide not to talk to you anymore. Right? These are Satan's puppets, right? These are just puppeteers. People Watchtower uses that can't do nothing at meetings other than ask questions. And they can't counsel people because most elders do not know how to weather the storm. If there's a tough situation or a problem within their family, they jump ship. My stepdad, who's an elder, he used to give the marriage talk. That was primarily the talk that he would give as a marriage talk. This man been divorced more than he been married. The first inclination of a Jehovah's Witness when there's a problem is to jump ship. Just get away from the problem and pretend that it don't exist. So for an elder, you're thinking somebody's going to weather the storm with you. You're going to talk to them. They're going to give you advice. At the first sign of rain, they are gone. That's what they've done their whole life. Right? Isn't that ironic? The guy I grew up with giving talks about marriage, giving the marriage talk all over the circuit, just giving the marriage talk. That was the talk I remember hearing him give the most, was a marriage talk. Had already been divorced and was about to be divorced a second time. Instead of giving the marriage talk, my stepdad should have been giving the divorce talk. It should have been going around to different congregations telling people the best way to get a divorce, because that's what he has experience in. He's got more experience getting divorced than anything to do with marriage. So if you're having problems with your marriage, why would you go and get advice from someone who the solution for them when they were having problems in their marriage was just get out of it? Just jump to the next one. Whichever woman makes me look the best at the Kingdom Hall is the one I'm going to stick around with. Because if anybody causes problems and, they don't cause a problem per se. When normal problems arise and I can't figure out how to fix it, as an elder, I just jump to the next woman. It's been the case with my stepdad. Like, you can't make this stuff up. That's why this fellowshipping is so prevalent among Jehovah's Witnesses. Because as soon as something goes wrong in life, that elder, they don't know what else to do but disfellowship them. They don't know how to solve complex problems. They can't solve problems with their own families. They couldn't fix their own marriages, plural, I should say. With my elder stepdad, he couldn't fix the 2 marriages, right? So how is he going to help you fix yours when he's on his 3rd? Especially if that's your first marriage. If you're on your first marriage, why would you go ask my stepdad, who is an elder, for advice on family? He done gummed up twice. He on his 3rd. And he can't get too many more because you only are young for so long. You know what I mean? The reason that these people are puppets now is because they of themselves do not have the knowledge, the experience, the wherewithal to guide and direct other people when the primary way of resolving things among Jehovah's Witnesses is to just say, oh, well, that person's disfellowship, so the problem no longer exists. Right? It's not to solve the problem, it's to just run away from it. So these people, from my experience, you guys comment down below, but from my experience, these are people who Watchtower uses as a puppet. Watchtower needs this elder. What Watchtower needs of elders is somebody that's able to read English or whatever language and then speak it, repeat it back to a group of people. That's all they're good at. How are they going to counsel you when they don't have the expertise themselves? Just because you're old don't mean you are good at something. Right? Like for my stepdad, he knows more about divorce than I do. I've never been divorced. So if I was going through a divorce, yeah, I'd be calling my stepdad. How do I get this divorce done? How do I get this? What's the divorce paperwork? Right? What all things do I need to know about this divorce? Because you done did them twice. So yeah, you want to ask someone advice on something they know. So if you're trying to get a divorce, yeah, that's when you go to this elder. Right? If you're trying to get a divorce, if you're trying to save your marriage and he ain't saved none of his when he was younger, why would you then go to him to save your marriage and he ain't done it? So elders, oftentimes they're not, no one thinks to find out, does this person have any kind of experience in anything that they're talking about? Do they add any kind of value by way of experience in anything that they're talking about? No, they have no. Oftentimes, these people pretend like they know it all when they don't know any more than the next man, right? About how to do something successfully. An older person has got experience in what they've done in the past. So they could. And another thing about elders, they have this thing called the elder book. Another proof that these people are just puppets. They don't want you to read the elder book. Why? Because if you read the elder book, then you know what they know. If you read the elder book along with them, they're not special anymore. They have no more knowledge than you do. So a 25-year-old can have the elder book in his hand, and if he's read it, he knows what the elders know. They're no more knowledgeable than he is. Right? This is proving that these people are not special. If Watchtower didn't already tell them what y'all going to study, you're going to get up on the stage and you're just going to ask questions, and the people in the crowd are going to answer, these people wouldn't know what to do. If it wasn't for disfellowshipping, all these elders would be in the back room with someone, stumbling all over themselves, trying to figure out how to solve complex problems. But because Watchtower just uses shunning, if you just shun it, it don't exist no more. They don't have to solve anything. All they got to do is say, well, hey, don't do that. And since it happened, we'll just shun you. And then that solves it. That fixes it. Everything's clean now because we just shunned you. We just fixed the congregation by we just won't talk to you for about 6 months, and then that solves it. Right? They try to use the Bible, but they twist how things were intended. You're supposed to be able to help people solve these issues, not just disfellowship everybody that has an issue. But comment down below, Jehovah's Witnesses, in summary, with Charles Taze Russell and that pyramid and using it to try to predict the future, that is divination. The Jehovah's Witness origin is in paganism. The same paganism that they point the finger at everybody else for, they are guilty of it also. And not only that, not only is their organization origin satanic, essentially, but these elders, these people that they're giving titles to, they're just puppets. They're just puppets. All they do is ask questions at the meeting, for crying out loud. All they do whenever there's a problem in the congregation is, I guess, just tell somebody, well, don't do it. We don't know how to fix it because we can't fix our own families. We just shun them. So what we're going to do in this back room is just tell the congregation to shun you, because that's the only thing we know to do about situations. These people, this stuff is ridiculous. These are empty titles. They don't mean anything. Most of these elders, they didn't do that good of a job in their own family. And they just try to hide the fact that they didn't do that good of a job in their own family. I don't know how you hide multiple divorces, but apparently you can do that. Comment down below, 937-789-4029. Elders are just Satan's puppets. That's all it is the devil's puppets. The devil is the lie and the father of the lie. And what do we know about Jehovah's Witnesses is that they constantly lie and then say, well, we've got new light now. It's come to us. We got new light. Not only are they steeped in paganism in their origin, but they're constantly telling people things that ain't true. And they'll lie about it. Oh, we didn't say nothing about 75. Charles Taze Russell there wasn't a pyramid at his cemetery. We took that and hid that. It didn't exist. Like, comment down below, 937-789-4029. We'll discuss it. X Wall Kill Bethelite signing out.